Hey guys, so you guys know that on the 30th of last month, April 2025, there was this news that went out that people should come out en masse in different African countries to protest against the French people or against the Western world from coming into Burkina Faso to take away what belongs to them, and also stopping them from doing anything or harming Ibrahim Traore. And a lot of African countries went out there in their different communities, in their different states, countries, and in other parts of the world where it wasn't just Africans doing it. And people came out to speak, both the whites, the blacks. They came out to talk about it, that they should not do anything to Ibrahim Traore. They should allow him, because he's one of the African leaders who have shown that they came for the people. They came to do good for the people, not to amass wealth for themselves. For those of you who may not know Ibrahim Traore and you're coming across this video for the first time, Ibrahim Traore, a backstory here, is a military head of state. That's what we're supposed to call them, because people who are not elected into office are not supposed to be called president. But now he's called a transitional president of Burkina Faso because he came in through a coup. He toppled the government and came into being. And that same thing happened in Niger. And also, so in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are the three countries that pulled out of ECOWAS. And Burkina Faso is one of the Sahel countries. So when this thing happened, the first democratically elected president was there in Burkina Faso, and he wasn't doing well. So a military government took over, toppled the government, and took over that seat, which the guy did not also do well. He came in and was behaving like a person who is, because they feel that democratically elected people do not govern properly. So they came in, and the guy, as a military officer, they expected him to do well. He didn't do well, and that was how they toppled the government. Ibrahim Traore, a 36 at that time, I think it was 36 or 35 years old. Ibrahim Traore is a captain of their army, toppled the government and came into being. You all know that once somebody topples the government, it's always very easy for them to unalive that person, because they know very well that this person went against democracy, and then he's supposed to be unalived. So now what they do is, some of these Western strongholds will now begin to give that person a bad name to be able to hang the person. And then before the 30th, there was this American military man who said Ibrahim Traore is trying to take the gold of Burkina Faso and all of those good stuff, and is trying to take it away from the people. So they're trying to label him a thief in order for them to have something to hold on to unalive him. And then Africans woke up and said, no, we won't allow that kind of a thing happen. So they now decided to make an announcement on social media platforms talking, and all of these things they are doing, Ibrahim Traore does not have a hand in it. Like, he's not part of the protest. He doesn't know about the protest. If he's seeing it on social media. You all know the story about Ibrahim Traore, how they have tried to unalive him. They have sent how many spies. They have tried to unalive him in maybe by gun or something, and God has always preserved him. We have heard so many stories on how they tried to poison him through tea, so many things, but all of that did not deter Ibrahim Traore from doing the right thing. He came up, he did. And if you look at Ibrahim Traore, he is always fighting for Africa. You will hardly hear him talk about Burkina Faso alone. The way the Burkinabe people are just protecting their president, I have never seen this in the history of Africa or in the history of the world, where a president is doing so well and his people are painstakingly protecting him. Like, they don't want even a fly to come around or around Ibrahim Traore. So this was what happened. And all of a sudden, the people in Nigeria decided to be part of the protest, and then they carried the Burkina Faso flag, and that was the biggest undoing. And immediately these guys were arrested. So as we speak, these guys have been arrested since the 30th of last month. Today is the 7th, as we're making this video now. Today is the 7th, I guess, of May. And these boys have been in the prison. So they brought them out, I think 2 days ago. They took them to court or thereabout. So the lawyer who happened to know about this thing, posted it on Facebook, and that was how I got to know about this news. Posted it about 2 days ago or yesterday. So because I've not had time to really do video, I was like, I must say this thing to say that please, I know that. So now they are trying to charge them for felony or something. They are trying to that it was wrong for them to have to fly the Burkina Faso flag. So people are saying, could it be because Burkina Faso left is it because Burkina Faso left ECOWAS? Is that why the Nigerian government is angry, or the police is angry to the point where they did that to those boys? Now, those of you who have been following the Nigerian political scene, you remember there was this time where they were doing a protest. I think that was last year. They were protesting against bad governance, and then those people were in Abuja, were thrown tear gas at. People were wounded and all of those things. A lot were shot at and all of that. But what happened? It was because some boys, about little children, because I won't call them boys, they were within the ages of 10, 12. In fact, one looked like a 9-year-old. They were all taken to the Kuje prisons and abandoned there. What was their offense? Because in one of the northern countries, they flagged the Putin's, President Putin, his country, they had to fly his flag, and that was the reason why they had to pack them and throw them in the prison, which one barrister Deji and some other Nigerian lawyers who did not like what was going on cried out, and they brought out those children. In fact, they were so hungry, malnourished, because they had stayed there for almost 90 days as at the time this thing happened, when they were arrested, and to when the report was filed. So if you see that this kind of a thing is happening, so these guys who did this thing in Edo State, Nigeria, is actually Edo State is actually a south state in Nigeria. They went out to protest in support of Ibrahim TRAORE. This thing I'm telling you is not AI. It is, of course, if I'm able to put the cut wherever, you will see it. They were flying the flag in solidarity, in support of Ibrahim TRAORE, and this was done to them. So as we speak to you, they are currently in custody because of the flag they were flying to support Ibrahim TRAORE. Now, what will ask, why did they fly the flag? They did that because it was in solidarity, in support. Not because they are saying that Ibrahim TRAORE should come and take over Nigeria. No. But because our government, the way they reason, the way they take things. Because, of course, if you are doing well, you don't need to be pursuing people to say good things about you, right? So that was exactly what happened. So these guys are being in custody because of Ibrahim TRAORE, who is far away in the Sahel countries. He's far away in Burkina Faso. They were arrested. They didn't allow their parents to come see them. They have charged them with so many, charges like that. And when I posted this thing on Facebook, I just did a write-up and talked about it. People were surprised that, how can you arrest somebody? In short, one guy said, I am kidding, right? I said, I'm not kidding. It happened in Edo State, in Edo State. So how do you lock up people because they are working in solidarity with another country that they know that this same Burkina Faso transitional president is seriously always talking about Africa, and we Nigerians are Africa. So if we don't talk about this thing, in fact, these days, if you talk about Burkina Faso matter so much, they can pick you up in Nigeria. It's that bad. Now, I'm not saying this to say that, Nigerians are not in support of Burkina. Of course they are. But what we are saying in essence is that these guys are suffering for something that does not have any connection. Like, why are you, giving them all those counts? For what? Treasonable felony, all of those things. There's nothing they did not write that they are accusing these boys of, and they have gone already to court. And the way it's going, they might jail these boys. They might just jail them. So when I saw that thing, I was like, what is this? Because if they don't have a good lawyer and they don't take this thing to social media, because they just posted what the court ruled and the charges they are giving them, if they don't take this thing and troubleshoot this thing, these boys can rot in jail in Nigeria. And they are Nigerians. That's the funny thing. So they are being locked up just because they had to fly a Burkina Faso flag in solidarity, in protest for Ibrahim Traore, that the West should not unalive Ibrahim Traore, that the West should leave Africa alone. That was just their undoing. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is really scary, and I thought to share with you guys. Thank you.